thinking about buying a house, don't make one of these 5 big mistakes. Number 5, waiting too long to talk to a lender. A lender can help you not only figure out if your credit score is good enough, but also based on your income, what price of a house you can afford. A lot of people want to wait till the last minute to talk to a lender because they don't want to affect their credit score. But the reality is a good lender can help you to improve your credit score and also tell you about things to do and not to do in order to buy a house. And when it comes to improving the credit score, for example, sometimes paying off some debts are good and other debts aren't good. They don't help your credit. Sometimes they even hurt your credit. So talking to a lender as soon as possible is always good. Number 4, making significant life changes or financial changes. Changing a job. For example, if you're a doctor at a hospital and you go to another hospital, that's probably not going to make a difference. If you're, let's say, a construction worker and you go into sales, that can make a difference. So making a big lifestyle change, occupational change, or financial change. You have money in a cash business, you take that money and put it into your bank account just before you buy a house. Those sorts of things can make a difference. Or maybe you are thinking about buying a house, so you start ordering furniture. That will affect your credit, of course. So those things are things to be careful. Don't make any big financial changes or employment changes, any lifestyle changes in general before buying a house. Number 3, underestimating the expenses you're going to have in buying a house. Everyone knows about a down payment. Obviously, if you're paying in cash, you have to have the cash. If you're going to be financing it, then everyone knows you need a down payment for the house. What they don't think about is before closing, you need the earnest money when you first write the contract. You need the option money when you first write the contract. You need money for an inspection. You need money for an appraisal. You need money for a survey, and maybe even money for HOA documents or other fees. So it's always best to talk to a real estate agent or a lender to get an idea of all those costs so you know them in advance. And of course, after you buy the house, you still have the expense of moving, maybe getting the furniture that you need to get, moving expenses, appliances, changing utilities. So just keep in mind that those are other expenses. Number 2, not starting to work with a real estate agent soon enough. A lot of people don't want to commit to a particular agent because they think, I don't want to pay for something until I'm ready to use it, or I don't want that expense. Well, in most cases, or at least in Texas, the buyer's agent commission is typically paid by the seller. So there's really not any upfront cost for the buyer's agent commission. There are some rare instances where the buyer may have to pay the buyer's agent commission, but in Texas it's pretty rare. And even if you do, it's at the time of the sale, not before. So there's no reason to delay getting involved with an agent. Another typical excuse I hear is, I don't want to waste their time. Well, obviously if you're looking 1 year out or 2 year out, don't waste their time. If you're looking 1 month or even 2 months out or even 3 months out, it's okay to go ahead and get started with an agent. That's their job. They go with you, start kind of doing preliminary work, find out what works for you, what doesn't. That way you have an idea of the neighborhoods, the market, whatever. And also they get to know what you're looking for in a house. So as they begin to know your interests and your needs and requirements, they can better serve you. Another good reason to work with an agent is they can help you to fine-tune your search. A lot of times a real estate agent has access to search tools or search criteria that you may not have as a private individual. So an agent can sometimes fine-tune the search and help you find what you're looking for easier. And then the last reason to use an agent as soon as possible is just they're your representative. Anytime you're talking to a seller or a listing agent as a buyer, it's just not a good situation because you may say something to them that doesn't help you. So it's always better to have an agent to represent you. And then of course the last reason is whenever you're looking for a house, sometimes you have an open house or you can contact the listing agent to see the house. But having a dedicated real estate agent that you call up and make a list of houses you want to see, they can schedule all the showings for all the houses and get you in faster than you can do it yourself. And then the last, number 1 biggest mistake that people make is not listening to their lender or their real estate agent. What do I mean by that? Sometimes a lender will say, absolutely don't do this, it'll ruin your chances, and people do it. Or they'll say, if you want to be able to buy a house, you need to do X, Y, and Z, and people don't do it, or they wait to do it. Anytime a lender asks you for information or asks you to do something, you need to do it as soon as possible and do exactly what he says. So many people have messed up their chance to get a house because they don't listen to their lender. They do things like they move money around between accounts, they change jobs, or they do something that affects their credit. So listen to your lender. Also listen to your real estate agent. They're there to protect you, to take care of you. Don't talk to the seller directly. Don't talk to the listing agent directly. That's what your agent's for. So you should not be communicating directly with the listing agent or the seller. That's the agent's job, to protect you from any mistakes that might happen and to protect your best interest. So work with them as soon as possible. There's no reason not to. All right, so those are the 5 big mistakes people typically make. If you have any questions or any comments or you need more information, leave a comment down in the comment section below and we'll try to respond to the comments as soon as possible. Or if we have enough people asking for a particular topic or question, we may do a video for it. So anyway, that's it for now. See you guys later.